There are two lies that the devil loves for people to believe: that they have no self-worth and that there is no hell. If you believe that your soul is worth nothing, then you won't take care of it, and if you don't take care of your soul, you could find yourself heading to hell. The good news is that God doesn't want you to go there, and puts many graces in your life to keep you from going to hell. Because God does not interfere with free will, the choice to use these graces or not is up to us. However, as we will see in this story, the choices we make will lead us ultimately to God or to hell. This story is of a young woman in Munich who, after dying in 1937, appeared to a friend from her lifetime, who is now a nun and was praying for the repose of the soul of her friend. The young woman told her friend to stop praying for her because she was in hell. From there, she gave an account of her life and her repeated rejections of the invitation of grace. She said, "On the drive home, my husband was suddenly blinded by a car coming from the opposite direction. After a scream of fear, I experienced a crushing pain, although in comparison with the present pain, it was but a trifle. The morning before my death, a thought crossed my mind to go to Mass. It sounded imploring. Clearly and resolutely, my no cut this thread of thinking. And now I was floating above my body. I was flooded by a glaring light, and suddenly I saw the scene of my life. As in a mirror, my soul showed itself to me. The graces trampled underfoot since my childhood, until the last no against God. Repent? Never. Be ashamed? Never. But any less could I endure it being under the eyes of the God I had rejected. So only one thing was left: to flee. That was the particular judgment. The invisible judge spoke, "Be gone." Another story comes from a priest who wrote a book titled Hell back in 1876 about his grandfather, Rostopchin, who was friends with a count named Count Orloff and their mutual friend, General V. One evening, after dinner and drinks, Count Orloff and General V had engaged in a conversation about religion, although their conversation about it was more ridiculed than anything else. They came upon the subject of hell and agreed that whoever should die first would come back and tell the other of it. It just so happened that a war had broken out and General V was killed in it. However, no one knew of this yet. One day, as Rostopchin was getting dressed, Count Orloff suddenly burst in looking deathly pale and frightened. He told Rostopchin that he had just seen General V. "Oh, so he's back from the war then?" Count Orloff said, "No, he has not come back, and that is what frightens me." He explained to Rostopchin of the pact that he had made with General V a few weeks back. Then he explained, "This morning I was lying in bed just waking up, when suddenly the bed curtains open, and I see just 2 feet from me General V standing upright and pale. He had his right arm on his chest, and he said, 'There is a hell, and I am there.' And then he disappeared." About 10 days later, they received the news from an army messenger of the death of General V, who had died that very same day and hour that he had appeared to Count Orloff to announce to him that there was a hell. You can take these stories to heart, or you can reject them. At any rate, they serve as a way of education. Maybe they will help you think a little deeper of realities that you had never thought of before. Maybe they will strengthen your faith in the supernatural, and they can serve as a warning, because they dramatically emphasize the consequences of man's moral choice for all eternity. Just like all the souls in these stories who made their choices of what they chose to believe, so the choice is also up to you. Is there a hell? Christians believe there is, but the devil would love nothing more than for you to believe that it doesn't exist.